Hi, go for it.
Hi everyone, Jeremy here with HB Pool. So then we're actually at the office, and what we want to check is we want to talk to you guys about some of the comment issue and comments that we get all the time. So for that we've got Luke that takes all your calls as much as possible, and so I'll let him show us what's going on.
Well, first and foremost, it's been a really busy couple of weeks, Jer. And it's been a real challenge to keep up with the demand of questions that we're getting. But a lot of the stuff that we want to cover today is based on the questions that you're asking as the homeowners who are dealing with chemistry issues and things like that. So as we're getting into the weekend at this point, what we want to try to do is set you up with the right action plan moving forward. So Jer, I'm going to fire away a couple questions. If we can help out the homeowners, I think that would probably be best. So if I'm the homeowner and I'm dealing with the process of getting that pool back to crystal clear. So essentially, where should I start with that process?
So, okay, and then this is a good question. So a lot of people ask this question. So, like, what do we do? I've got a green pool. I want it to be clear, obviously. But how do we go about to do that? So it doesn't matter if the pool is completely like a swamp or it's disgusting and all. You still need to balance the pool. And I think this is going to be the most important thing is just remember to balance out your pool water. So if you don't know how, if you've never done that, we're going to share a link for our place that we've got on how to balance your pool out. But the main thing is that if you don't balance your pool, the water, well then the actual chlorine that's going to kill all the bacteria that's in the pool isn't going to be as effective as it should. So the main thing is, first of all, balance the water. Even if it's a swamp, if it's dark and it's disgusting, still take some water, put some gloves on, obviously, but check the water and put the the alkalinity stabilizer, everything you need to balance out the pool. So this is step one.
So that would be step one. Now, so if I'm the homeowner and I'm kind of putting myself in their spot, what chemical do I start with? Like, there's so many out there. I'm walking into the store this weekend. I've got my mask on. I'm trying to fight the lines to get the chemistry testing done. But what if I want to do it from home for myself? Is there a way that I can go about doing that?
Absolutely. And this is one of the things why we offer actually a kit that you can actually get from us. You've got the basic chemicals that you need, and you've got some strips that can test the water for basically the five most chemicals that you need to balance the pool. So you go with these strips and you test the water, and you can start. And then you're going to start with stabilizer, alkalinity, pH, chlorine, and calcium.
And do you always follow the same sequence?
So again, there's no proper sequence to go about it. Obviously, water chemistry, once it's balanced. But this is just an easy way to do it. This is how it's written on the bottle, like from 1 to 5. And I just find it's easy to do, and it makes sense as well. So if you follow these steps, I've had great success. If you have other ways to do it, though, go ahead and follow your own step if you do.
Okay, sounds good. So we're obviously going to share those links, and we've got the little video series that we've put together over the last couple of weeks.
Exactly.
So we'll send that via email with you. That'll be linked into the video here. Now, the other question I've got, what if I'm starting with a really dark pool? I know that we saw a couple swamps this week. So what do we do about that? Where do you start?
Okay, so first of all, again, like we mentioned, so you balance out the pool, right? All the chemistry is good. So the water might be disgusting, but it's balanced, okay? Second step, here's my little tip that I'm going to say. So if you have like this swamp, a black swampy pool that you can't even see the bottom of it, all right? So depending on the size, obviously there's exception, but most of the time for residential outdoor pool, you can have 6 shots of chlorine. And again, you put water in the bucket first, then the chlorine. You do 1 shot at a time. You put it in the pool, going around the pool, and putting it directly in your water, all right, in that dark water. Once you've done those 6 shocks, then you're going to take a brush. You're going to brush the wall and the pool. What you want to do is a big soup out of it. So when it's black, that's what you do. When it's green, you go with 4 shocks. Instead of 6, you go down to 4 shocks of chlorine. And then if you actually see the bottom of the pool, but there's green going on, then it's 2 shocks of chlorine. And same process. And that's all there is to it. And you want to make a big soup. So remember, the biggest thing is don't vacuum. So some people are just want to get the pool off. I just want to clean everything up. It's not going to work. Trust me, it's live. It's going to reproduce itself. You want to kill it first. And the way to do it, balance, shock, take the time to let everything settle, make a big soup out of it. Once everything is dead and gray, that's when you vacuum.
Okay, so you really have to hold off on that vacuuming process as long as you can.
Absolutely. Take your favorite drink, get in the chair, you put the chemical, everything's balanced, you've got the chlorine going on, the chlorine's actually working for you now. So while it's working for you, have your favorite drink, wait, once it's dead and everything is great, that's when you're gonna go and vacuum afterwards. So if you've got a sand filter, you're gonna vacuum the dead algae, which is gonna be like almost sand at the bottom of the pool, really, really thin sand. That's what you're going to vacuum on drain. If you've got a sand filter, cartridge filter, you're going to need to clean those cartridges really often. Or again, if you've got a bypass on the cartridge, you can still vacuum on drain as well. And that's how you're going to go about it.
Right on.
Yeah.
The other question.
We've got someone calling.
We actually have someone calling in. This wasn't planned. But the follow-up question that I have to that chemistry question is, what about for someone that has a sand filter? And we get this often. I'm having trouble clearing up. It seems like it's there. It seems to be balanced, but for whatever reason, it's just a little bit cloudy at this point. And I just can't get it to that point where it's nice and crystal clear and I can basically sit back, relax, and enjoy that drink on the weekend while the kids are swimming.
Yeah. So once everything is actually balanced, so the water's balanced, and you've got the chlorine, and everything seems to be fine, but you're still missing that little thing just to get it nice and clear.
Yeah.
There's two things that can happen. Most of the time, it can be the sand in your filter. If you've got a sand filter, then the sand, obviously, you know, it's just too old, and there's like kind of layers inside the sand that, you know, stops it from clearing up. Or the other thing is dead algae that can just go back in the pool again. So you can use either clarifier or other products that are similar to that to get rid of that, you know, those last dead algae. But the main thing is for sure check to see if your sand has been changed within the past 5 years, which is what's recommended. And if not, go ahead and change your sand. That would be step one for sure for that.
So basically, a sand change is kind of like an oil change for the car. You've got your range is basically 4 to 6 years. Just like we would say on a car, 5,000 to possibly 8,000 if you put in synthetic oil. But if you don't do it, then you get in trouble afterwards.
Exactly.
Okay, I hear you.
For sure. It's better also. Within 5 years, and we've seen, honestly, result, and we've tested it in the past, and it makes a huge difference.
Right on. Last question that one of the last questions that we've received quite a bit throughout the last week or so is, what about... I'm suspecting that there could be a little bit of a pressure issue in the system. Maybe I'm losing a little bit of water even.
Yeah.
We're having some trouble with the vacuuming process. We're at that point. So these are all independent questions that can sometimes tie into a larger problem. And what would that larger problem be?
Okay, so I'm not sure I'm actually going to go and evolve on the full description. That might be our second video, so keep watching for that. We might go on to like leak detection, error in the system, and all that kind of stuff. Because we're talking multiples issue here.
Yeah.
So do you have a more specific one in mind? Or
I'll tell you what. Yeah. I think the starting point to what we're going to head into the next couple of weeks, it's going to start getting warmer. And homeowners will have issues with water levels seeming to drop. And we've got to figure out, is this evaporation? Is this not evaporation? What do we do about that?
Yeah, so if we're just looking at to see, you know, am I actually losing water? So first of all, we're going to link again our bucket test in this video as well, so you guys can go have a look. So there is a way to find out if you're actually losing water, if it's evaporation, and we're going to show the link for this video in this one right now, just at the bottom. So first off, you can lose up to ½ an inch per day in evaporation. This is the maximum you can lose. Now again, ½ an inch is pretty big and wide, so it's probably like, you know, you've got even Dustin coming.
Hey Dustin, welcome to the office. Come in.
Come in. This is going to be a video, so we've got Dustin here just coming back from his route, so you can turn and say hi.
Hello, how you doing?
Good. Yeah, so evaporation is about, so a ½ inch, typically like when you're swimming a lot, is normal.
Okay.
More than a ½ inch, that's when you usually have a problem. Like I said, like you can lose up to ½ an inch. This would be like in the end of the season when the heater's on, it's cold at night, and you're still swimming a lot. That's the max you're going to lose. So a ½ of an inch of evaporation can typically be normal, not much more than that. After that, you probably have a problem, and the bucket test is going to be the next option for that.
Sounds good. So stay tuned, take a look at the video, and we'll get back to you guys with your other questions in the coming weeks.
And everybody met Dustin? Come in, if you want to come here, just I don't know if you've seen, so you can probably check it out. So I know most of you, some of you guys have seen him, so say hi.
Hello.
All right, sounds good. So anyway, stay tuned. We're going to be, we'll do a follow-up video shortly.
Sounds good.
On hair in the system, leaks, and all the other cool stuff that you guys are...
Ask your questions. We'll come up with the answers, essentially. So let's
Sounds good. All right, so
Thank you.
thanks for watching. See you later. Ciao.